Okay, so these are the topics on the basics to financial literacy. The first session we have already done, where we see where we stand in our financial status. In today's sharing, we will go through about retirement planning. Most of the time, we will be asking ourselves, are we able to retire comfortably? So when we say retire comfortably, what do we mean? Do we mean that if we have $1 million, then we can retire comfortably? Or we just need to have a recurring income, even though we have already retired, to have a better retirement? So do you remember that in our last session, we talked about our income, expenses, all those stuff? Keep that in mind, because those value is the thing you need to remember when planning your retirement. At the end of this presentation, there are 3 things you'll be able to walk away with. The first one is to utilize the power of compound interest to your advantage. The second one is to understand the benefits of planning retirement early. And lastly, to utilize the investment simulator in the iInvest platform, which is available in the EPF account. Now, let's go through the first one, which is the 8th wonder of the world. When we say the 8th wonder of the world, many will be wondering, we only heard about the 7th wonder of the world, but what is the 8th wonder of the world? According to Albert Einstein, the 8th wonder of the world is actually the compound interest. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Now, this is the compound interest formula. As you can see here, the A is the total amount that accumulated. P is your principal amount. And then R is your annual interest rate. And N is the number of times the interest is compounded within a year. And T is the time. So with this formula, it can be very, very hard for us to remember, but not to worry. From this formula, actually, there is 3 things we need to remember of. So the 3 main variables that contribute to the total amount of money collected over time are: the first one, the money that you have invested; the second one, the time; and lastly, the rate of return. So these are the 3 components that will impact the total amount of your money. Now, let's see of an example here. So let's say that we have an initial investment of 1,000 ringgit. And this year we are 34 years old, example. And the annual rate of return is 6%. So let's go, by the end of age 55, which is 25 years, around that, we will have around 68,929 ringgit and 29 cents. That is using the compound interest, and your total investment is only 29. Now let's see if we invest earlier, let's say about 10 years ago, where your initial investment is still the same, 1,000 ringgit, and you started investing at the age of 24. And by the age of 55, you'll get 207 ringgit 80 cents, and your initial investment is 41,800. Oh, okay. Right now, since we cannot go back to time, which is 10 years ago, there are 2 other ways we can increase the amount of our investment. So the first method is you increase your initial investment. This is a lot more than if you invest earlier. You see, the total investment here is 41,800, which is the same investment as when you invested 24,000. But at the end of the day, even though with the same total investment you have invested, the total amount is lesser than if you invest 10 years earlier, which is 105. Oh my God, I'm really suck at this. Okay, fine, you can read. You can see the numbers here. And Another method is your rate of return is very high. So let's say initial investment 1,000 ringgit, age of 34. Your total investment is 29,800. Your total by the age of 55 is 472,592 and 80 cents. So this value is almost 500,000 if your annual rate of return is high with a lower total investment. So this is a comparison I draw out from the 4 scenario just now. So you can see here, if we want to start with a smaller capital, and then we start it earlier, which is when we are 24 years old, the amount we get if we start earlier is actually double than this amount. Even if you start at the age of 34, and then you have the same amount of total capital, but at the end of the day, you see there is a difference between these two figures. It won't be the same. This is because of the compound interest. Therefore, with the compound interest, with time, you will actually get more if you start investing or saving earlier. This is a rare case. If you can find a saving or some other method to increase your investment by 18% per year, you will get 500,000. Now, with that said, now I would like to walk through the investor simulator in iInvest. So according to Benjamin Franklin, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Therefore, it is always better to plan earlier ahead for your retirement. Now, this is the I account. This is the old website page. So right now, from the old website page, you cannot go into the I account and the iInvest anymore. So you need to go to the new I account, which is this website. So once you log into your EPF account, and then down here, the iInvest, this portion, you will see here Lihat Butiran. You click on Lihat Butiran, it will come to this page. So this is the main page he will lead you to. So what if you have not invested in the iInvest, the page here, it will show empty. But right now I have some of my funds, I have some funds invested in this EPF. Therefore, you can see this pie chart here. There's two color here, which means I have two holdings currently in this iInvest account. So right now, there is a rule saying that you can only take 30% of your account one to invest in your KWSP, but you don't know how to calculate the 30%. So there is another method actually. When you go up here, you see there is some sort of like a shopping cart here. You click on shopping cart. Then on the left-hand side here, you can actually see what is the eligible investment amount you can invest on, and what is the available investment amount. The eligible investment amount and the available investment amount, these two are actually different. Let's say for this eligible investment investment amount is 10K, and then if you have not made any investment, so then this eligible investment amount and the available investment amount will be the same. But let's say if you have invested earlier, this amount and this amount may be different. And a note here, if you are, these are the time. On weekdays, it is open from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. On weekend, is from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So now let's go to the fund tools, which is in iInvest. So on the top here, you can see account, transaction, fund tools, report. So you hover your mouse to the fund tools and you go straight at the end here, which is the investment simulator. Once you left click it once, there will be four types of calculator it will show. So let me stop sharing and I'll go through this simulator. Give me a minute, let me share. Okay, so right. So this is the investment simulator. Here there is four you can simulate on. The first one is the investment value investment value at the end. What it means is that this is you key in what is your initial investment, monthly investment. Initial sales charge, I usually put 0 here, and your investment period, your return, then it will calculate what is the end amount you will have. Let's say, for example, I put 1,000 here, my initial amount, and my monthly investment, I put 100. Every month, I put 100 in, and I want to invest for 25 years. My rate is 6%. When you calculate it, and then you see a graph here. So by the end of the 25 years, you will have 73,764. This is the total amount you have, the principal plus your interest. So your principal, this is your principal. And this is your annual, this is the 6% per annum. So now let me go to the second one, investment period required. This means that you key in all this initial investment, everything is the same, just that you want to know how much time you need in order to get what you want. Let's say, for example, I want 500,000 here. This one, initial amount, I put 1,000, same thing, 100. Return 6. When you calculate it, here it says you need 53. Let's round it out. You need 54 years in order to get this amount. So 54 years, I'm not even sure I'm still in this world. Let's play around. Let's say I put a 10% and calculate it. So if it is 10%, is much lesser. It takes 37 years for you to get this amount. You can play around with this also. Let's say if you say put 1,000 here and then you calculate again. There you have it. It's only 16 years. So with this calculator, right, you don't really need to remember the formula just now. Just use whatever we have here, and it will save a lot of time. So the third one here is the required rate of return. That means in order to get the end amount that you want, how much rate you need to look for. Let's say this one, 1,000, 100 monthly. Investment period, let's say I want to invest 20 years. I want 250. Okay. So it give you here, your return must be 17.58%, which is not to say impossible, but not many mutual funds can do 17.58% on a year-to-year basis. So this is the third one, the required rate of return. And then the last one, the investment sum required today or on a monthly basis. So this one, either you can choose this one, how much when you choose this one, you see here is blurred. That means it will help you to calculate what is your initial investment required. Let me show you here. Here, 25 years, rate of return, 10%, 250, calculate. So if you have a 10% rate of return with a 25 years of investment period, your initial investment must be 23,000. So the next one, monthly investment, this is almost the same as this one, just that right now you need to key in the investment period, rate of return, ending amount. Okay. This is purely on monthly investment only. That means every month you give this amount. So for this one, that means you give initial investment, but then you don't have your monthly investment. You just put in 1,000 and that's it. You don't top up every month. So this is what you need to invest. Sorry, this is the investment amount here. And this is your monthly. You need to, that means the initial, oh, hang on. Did I miss something? Oh yeah. So this is you put in your initial amount along with your monthly investment. That's why he said initial plus monthly investment. This is just purely initial investment, and this is just purely monthly investment. So this is a free tool as long as you have, as long as you are a member of the, as long as you are a member in this portal. So have a play around, and that's it for this sharing.
If you think this video is beneficial to you, click the like button and share it with your friends and family. I thank you in advance for sharing this video for someone who needs it. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now!